All right, so I'm really liking how this drop is developing. There's just a few things that I think we need to do. And then I think after that, I'm going to go to the second part of the first drop. So yeah, let's get into it. So as I'm listening to the whole thing, and we'll listen to the whole thing again, and as you might be realizing, you might be getting sick of this because we have to listen to it so many times and make so many slight tweaks. But we'll listen to it again, and there's a few things I want to point out. Sorry, I'll start from the top of the drop. So there's a couple of spots that are completely empty, like right here, if I go. And then I kind of feel like it's a little bit too like jagged in terms of smoothly getting from the first part of the drop and then the second phrase. So the first 8 bars and the second 8 bars. So So an idea I have is to maybe put a vocal sample here, which I might end up just recording on my own. So we could put one here that would kind of say that, okay, we're changing. Another thing is the first part after this, so after my first 2 bars, the first part of each measure is that wah, wah. And then the second part is this same instrument, just kind of with some variations. So what I'm thinking is maybe kind of not just making the first part only this type of instrument, and then the second part this type, and I'm saying instrument sound, whatever you want to call it. So I'm thinking that I could potentially mix some of these up, maybe have some of each of these during this second part of this drop. And I already have some here. So let's start with the second part of the drop. And then if we want to, we can try to bring some of these over and mute some of these ones. So let's see. So first thing I'm going to unmute is this, just because I don't have anything there. So let's see what that sounds like. Ooh, right away. That's the sound that we made back when we thought this was going to be. And I do like that sound. So let's leave that there. And maybe I'll just solo this. I'll unmute everything just so we can kind of see if there's anything that we're interested in. I do like this kind of last part. But I also really like what we made over here. So maybe it can be like wah, wah here. And then right here, I can have it be these 4 things. Sorry. Whoops, I did exactly the opposite of what I tried to do. Oh dear. Here we go. Control M to mute that. And then I'll mute these ones as well. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay. Okay, I like that. I think it's a little bit better. This, when it was all 4 of these, I like these sounds, but it kind of felt like they were chugging along. Like, I'll unmute these just quickly to show you what I mean. So I feel like some variation is good there. Another thing I'll kind of go together. I'm more excited to try mixing it up a bit. So I'm just listening to get some ideas. All right. So now, right here. All right, and that's even a totally different sound, which is cool. So if I go back to the beginning, and then I'm definitely leaning towards vocal sample here instead of a sound like wow, chicka, wow, wow, maybe like oh my gosh or something like that. That's pretty different. I wonder what sounds I could draw from over here. Now I could make new sounds, but as you have seen, it takes quite some time to make a brand new sound from scratch that we might not even use. So we already have it, so no need to reinvent the wheel. Maybe I can try one of these. I'll copy these. Let's see. Let me drag this under here. I'll mute this and we'll see what happens. Maybe not that one, but I'll try the other one. Okay, that sounds pretty good. So I'm going to actually change this here because I like that this one right here, that's the same as this one, but maybe I'll get rid of this. All right, that I could see that working, but this has no, it doesn't stop. So I need to make this a little shorter. And maybe do the fade tool, command and clicking. And then, well, now that I'm fading out, I can make it a little bit longer. Let's try the speed up and slow down. I like that, but I just want to make sure that it works. All right, now it feels rushed. So let me bring it back a little bit. I want it to be like wow, wow. Is this is not sped up. Maybe I can speed this one up and see what that sounds like. Speed up, slow down. I do like that. Here you're just listening to me convince myself if I like something or not. All right, I even want this to be more. Let's see if I can bend. I'm just clicking and dragging with the command to make that curve. All right. All right, now that sounds too long. I mean, that is pretty aggressive. All right, there we go. And maybe here, this sounds too similar to this. Maybe I will mute that for a second and then drag this over. Whoops. Drag it over and chop it up like that. So here we go. I'm gonna remove the fade. Remove fade out. And then maybe I will make this a little shorter. Oh, whoops, I want both of them to be the same length. Well, I guess this one I'll extend. Now I can make both of them the same length. Now I'll go to region. I think it's easier to do multiple here. So I'll go to slow down, and here will be speed up. And I don't know, 50 maybe. Let's see what that sounds like. That sounds cool. All right, let's hear it all together. All right. I'm noticing this track is a little bit louder than this. Let's see. This is at 7.4 minus 7.4. This is at minus 8.6. All right, this is significantly louder. Let's see where they're peaking. So like negative 16.5. Let's see where this one is. All right, so I'll turn this down. So that was negative 17.8. That one was negative 16.5. So doing some quick math, I need to turn this down 1.3. So that's going to be down to 8.7, negative 8.7. 8.6, that's close enough. So let's see if that sounds any better. This one sounds good right here. I like that a lot. This I'm going to make even longer. And maybe not even longer, just kind of adjust the fade. Right there. That sounds good. Let's try it again. This seemed to end too early as well. Yeah, that sounds better. And then this one right here, I think I'm going to make those fades smaller. There we go. All right, that's too much going on right there. I need to mute these, or I need to mute some of them for now. All right, I'm going to listen to this first part one more time just to make sure that I like it. Maybe right here, maybe this last part, I can have another one of these basses from this track be at the first part here. So let me just grab two. Let me see what these sound like. Let's see what this sounds like right here. Just experimenting. Sounds pretty cool. Let's see what it sounded like without that. That works. I might take some of these elements and bring them over. I guess some of these are already over. So let's go back here now. Well, I did say I might want to do a vocal sample here to kind of make that transition smoother. So let's see how and if that would work. Let's see what I'm not going to delete anything. I'm going to mute these. Let's see what that sounds like if I mute these ones. Let's mute those and try these. No, but let's maybe the other way around. I'm hitting Control M to mute the region. All right, these are the exact same here. Maybe I can try some of these ones. This is muted, but let's try this. Let's try these ones because I might not use these ones. So I will delete that and then drag these ones to where they were. Okay. All right, so let's listen to what this was. The same old thing. Same old thing. And then same old thing twice. Let's see what this is. All right, so these are all the same exact thing. So I could sprinkle that in, but the whole point of doing this is to add some variation to the drop so it doesn't sound too repetitive. So let's go back here. All right, hold on. That's the same, so let's try if I do maybe the other way. I don't like this. I like ending with something else besides this. Oh, need to unmute it. Okay. Whoops, I hit the wrong thing. I just turned this track off. So, on, off, I don't want to see that. I want to see what the difference between... All right, so this is different. Good. I'm going to mute this and unmute these. I don't like that. I'm gonna keep this the way it was. All right, let me listen to the whole thing and see what I think of. So right here, I noticed that I turned these back on, and I did like this if we aren't going to do a vocal sample. If we are going to do a vocal sample, I might get rid of both of them. And I know earlier I liked this lower, but I want to try this higher again. So this is -5, so an octave above, 12 semitones above is going to be +7. Doing all sorts of math here. What do I like better? I can't tell. And because I changed the pitch, it has that like glitchy vibe, which I like. But let's see what it sounds like lower again. That just sounds gnarly. Probably going to stay with that one. All right, listen to it one more time. And then we'll move on. That was great. I'm really liking this. I like these upgrades we made, but there was one, I think it was this note. It kind of sounds like bubbles are popping or something like that. Let's see. I wonder if I change this to a fade. That's totally different. I think I like that better. Let's see. Yes, much better. All right. I think we're good here for now. Like I said, we might add some vocals later.